Hey everybody, welcome back to CALLOUS Invitational 7. This is the 4th place match, live narrated. This is always one of the tougher matches emotionally of the year. One of these guys is going to have come so far and played so many matches and been that close to the money and just not get there. As you guys know, only the top 3 get paid out in this tournament. So one of these players, Fakes or Ban Manaphy, will, with this win, be guaranteed money, and they could still win the whole tournament. Doesn't necessarily have to be third place. But the loser here will be in fourth place, which is the highest position out of the money, which is a great run. Top 4 out of this very strong 32-person tournament. But it's kind of cold comfort when you're going home with the same amount of money that you started with. So we'll see how it plays out. Fakes on the bottom, Ban Manaphy on the top. We have a Fori squad from Fakes, which is not... I mean, he's very TSS heavy, but not necessarily Fori, generally speaking. And then for Mana, could still kind of be anything. Looks like some kind of offense, perhaps a mixed offense. Sometimes Lax is paired with Mag, as is Salamence if it were a DD variety. But I also think it very well might just be a suicide lead, a boom Lax. Usually when it leads, it is not the traditional curse rest Lax, but who knows, it could be. That critical hit definitely matters, and early advantage for Mana. I would say that these guys play pretty differently as a whole. Fakes is largely a TSS player who doesn't deviate too much from his comfort. You saw last round, not just the same style, he brought the exact same team twice in a row against Rob Jr., and hey, it worked. And Mana, on the other hand, a lot more creative, a lot more unpredictable, really mixes it up and is all over the place. I don't know what the F this team is. Jolteon team that doesn't have spikes. Jolt plus Lax, a combo I don't think I've seen a whole heck of a lot of. Not exactly sure what we're looking at here, but he's going to float a Wish and be burned for doing so. See if he wants to try to pass that. Nobody really needs it. I guess he just floated it for himself. And the T-Wave there aimed at the Gar is going to blank on Pert, so strictly advantageous for Fakes to get that burn with basically no consequence. In comes Starmie, and in comes Arrow, so good switch for Fakes. The Starmie should be deterred by this. See if Fakes just goes for Double Edge or Rock Slide, or if he gets cute, tries to make some kind of prediction. It's got some kind of hidden power, presumably, Flying or Bug, but could be fighting, and we aren't sure what it is at the moment. And then, of course, the last move traditionally is Earthquake, but could be some funky set, substitute Leechy, substitute Toxic, what have you. I'm assuming it's just run-of-the-mill, standard CB Arrow. And it's interesting that he doesn't stay in there and go for an attack. And Mana's been busting out screens a couple times in these late rounds. He had a lead Starmie with Light Screen, and we never really got to see what that team was intending to do because he cleaned up only showing 2 pokes, but here he is doing it again. He's got the Light Screen Starmie, which is taking these Giga Drains surprisingly well. 22%, that's nothing, that's chump change. And Will-O-Wisp there on already burnt poke is whatever, but yeah, I mean, I'm skeptical. I'm not a big screens guy, but in this moment and also in the other game that he used them, they seem to work, so I guess you've got to give some credit there. But catching the Swampert with HP Grass on the way in obviously mattered. 81% 4x weakness. Fori comes in for free here, but it's hard not to think that Mana's in the lead at the moment. Fakes does have the spike down. The Starmie does have meaningful chip on it, though it did recover. Yeah, okay, it's higher than I thought. Maybe if Fori has HP Bug, it can just self-punish the Starmie. I still really can't believe that the Arrow didn't stay in on the Starmie. I sure would have, but Fake sees it differently. End up with Swampert on meta here. He's going to protect from more lefties. Sure, gets a little healthier, up to 44, still in the yellow. Eats EQ, and takes a Torrent range Surf back, which is why it did so much at 44%. Starmie's pretty damn safe from Swampert here, and it comes in just on a protect, but even a Surf or an EQ wouldn't have done a ton in this situation. So again, I mean, how would you, if you knew that Mana was going to bring this, I mean, how would you prep for this? How would you counter team this? It's just not, It's why mana is so hard to prep for. He's so all over the place and unpredictable, and he mixes it up so much. I don't see how anybody. I mean, Fakes is one of the worst examples because he basically doesn't prep. He just brings TSS that he's comfortable with basically every time. But if you are someone who is a prep-heavy player and try to counter team people and all that, how would you have done that? How would you have tried to counter mana, and what would you do when he shows up with whatever this is? It's really hard. It's very, very difficult to try to counter mana, and I think that's a huge part. I mean, obviously his creativity, his skill, all the other good stuff, but certainly how unpredictable and hard to counter he is a big part, I think, of why he's so successful in this and other formats. The T-Wave there matters, and Giga Drain is not going to get him on its own, but with the burn, going to leave him at just 2%. And on the way out, he's going to float a Wish to somebody. But Fakes does get on the board, and the last poke does get revealed for mana. It's a T-Tar, which does not have leftovers. Might be looking at Lumberry here. And he's going to receive the Wish as well. So he's going to be full health, +1/+1. HP Grass there, a disaster. And is Arrow going to be the only way out now? And it's a pretty loose way out. It would need either HP Fighting or to get really lucky with Rock Slide flinches. Fakes might just be toast. That might just be game one right here. Like I said, options are HP Fighting or get there with superb luck with your own Rock Slides and or dodging the opposing Rock Slides. Very, very likely that that Ban Manaphy takes game one. While Earthquake does a fuck ton, but nevertheless, still is going to have to dodge Rock Slide here. If he manages to do that, then I guess he gets to play on. Fair enough. Well played by Fakes. Fodders off the paralyzed Gengar. Fori, pending a crit or a flinch, will survive here and counterattack to kill the Tar. Fair enough. Well played by Fakes. Doing what he can do, giving himself a chance. Depending on his last, he might actually have a shot at this game. So a lot of players would have already lost, and that would have been it. But Fakes found a way out. Not a great way out, but only way out that he seemingly has. And like I said, depending on his last, there is a world where Fakes could maybe still win this game. Surf there. HP Bug would kill. Fair enough. Just a trade anyway. Boom. So 3-2. And Fakes has his own Tar. Interesting if it's two DDers staring each other down here potentially. And he goes to Arrow on Brick Break, which is a non-CB Brick Break. And we know that there's a Rock Slide resistance in the back, but he's going to click that anyway, 37%. Let's just go ahead and check on the meta. It's at 61%, and it's going to come in now on a spike. Rock Slide missing there, even though it would have been resisted. Probably matters in this situation. And he's going to go for it again, 18%. Now Mash is going to miss. That also probably matters. Rock Slide again. And another Mash miss. So now Fakes is one crit or flinch away. But now he's going to miss. But Mash is going to miss 3 times in a row. Rock Slide again. Holy Christ. 4 Meteor Mash misses in a row. Garbage move. This is why we use HP Steel, guys. 4 fucking Mash misses, man. Mathematically, not all that likely. I mean, granted, again, Fakes could have flinched him, but he didn't. He actually got the Mashes off, and they just missed the old-fashioned way 4 times in a row. A mathematical anomaly for sure, and it leaves us in a really awkward turn. The Rock Slide, based on these damage rolls, cannot kill from 22%, but the meta is now well in range to where the T-Tar, assuming it outspeeds, can follow up and kill the meta, and then it gets weird, but mana still favored to win this game as it sits. Fakes, of course, has the out of critting him, flinching him, or getting a miraculous 5th Mash miss in a row. But if it comes down to the Tar against the other two, we have to remember that the Mence not only has the very relevant Intimidate, but we already know for a fact that it is Brick Break. So this game is not over. Either player can still take it. But Mana should, most of the time, win from this position. I think the only thing Mana's debating is whether he mashes again or whether he just says fuck it and boom. Believe that is the thought at the moment. I mean, for fakes, you can't switch here. What are you going to do, get the arrow in and then click Earthquake knowing there's still immense in the back? Apparently fakes needs a minute, but like... And I guess he's had a revelation about the EVs on the other side. Without a calc in front of me, I don't know. Fakes probably knows this stuff more than I do. I don't know if he's right or not. I'll give him the credit that he is. Sure, max HP Mence on the other side. Let's... Have we damaged it? How do we know that? I don't know, but if he's right, I don't know what that really changes. But Fakes thinks that's relevant information, and it's actually both players still using the timer here. Quite a bit of timer, in fact. Looking at over 2 minutes on this crucial 43rd turn here. I mean, in my lame-o view, I feel like he was obligated to stay in and rock slide, but he sees it differently. He goes to T-Tar here. He eats a mash. If he's faster, this is actually another weird turn. You could EQ on the meta, but you could also EQ on the Mence. You could rock slide on the Mence. You could also rock slide into the meta. You could DD on a switch and just get mashed down. I mean, this line at least has some play for fakes. He might just be obligated to rock slide here and then go to the arrow and rock slide again and just hope it cleans. That might be the way out for fakes at this point. If the meta goes down, then fakes has a shot to get there with arrow just spamming rock slide. Lax very well may just die to a single rock slide after it comes in on the spike, so it's almost a non-factor unless you miss, and then, yeah, it just gives you a one-on-one with the Mence, so you have the out of a single crit or a single flinch. Really not that bad, all things considered. It's felt like Mana is a baby step away from winning this multiple times, and Fakes has battled back and put himself in a position where he's one singular turn of not ridiculous luck away from being the winner himself. Of course, if Mence were to survive whatever T-Tar is about to do and click DD, then it would be a Mana victory, pending that he misses rock slide against the arrow, which he would then outspeed. But we all know that 100% accurate moves are overrated, and that things like Meteor Mash, for example, always connect when we need them to. It's a tight late game. It's felt like Mana's been ahead all game, and like he's had fakes on the edge of the cliff and about to push him off, but Fakes has just taken these really, really good lines and given himself pretty serious opportunities to somehow come back. And that should end it now. The only out for Fakes is going to be dodging the opposing rock slide. I see the GG. If he does manage to dodge the rock slide, then Fakes will win this game. But Brick Break is enough. Doesn't even have to go for the rock slide. That was a 100% line. I'm sure he calced it out. Don't know what the calc is there. I don't know if he would have gone for it if it were a roll or if it is a guarantee. But obviously if it's a guarantee, you just click it there. You don't risk missing. And Mana is going to take game one and put Fakes one game away. We are still in the best of three stages. But this round is it for best of three. It is this match and then the still to come in real time Rick and C match. And that's it. Then we're moving on to the best of five. But we're still in the best of three for now. And like I said, this is going to determine who is out in fourth place. We have over $3,000 in our prize pool this year, which is an incredible amount. A crazy, crazy amount that I never thought this tournament would see. And yeah, the prize pool split is 50, 30, 20 respectively among the top three players. So even if you were to just, air quotes, finish in third place, you'd be looking at 20% of that 3,000. In other words, that is $600 plus because it's over 3,000. I don't remember the exact number, but it's 3,000 and change. But you're looking at $600+ for third place in this tournament, looking at $900+ for second place, and then looking at $1,500+ as it sits right now for whoever it is that wins this tournament. And hell, I mean, it could even go up. The donations are going to be open until the very end of the tournament. Not going to ask anybody for donations anymore. We've more than hit our goal, and I'm super happy with how far it's come. If you feel like donating, you certainly can. It's certainly welcome and appreciated. You'll get the credit and gratitude that you deserve, and we'll set the bar even higher. But we have more than cleared our donation goals as it is. Over 3,000, really, really good amount for an online Pokemon tournament, I would say. And I hope with this being the last CI, and it really, really, really is the last CI, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I hope you find that prize pool exciting and worthwhile. I hope it is added to the hype of the tour. Just waiting in real time. This is just a quirk of live narration. Sometimes they zoom right into game 2. Other times somebody needs a minute. Other times somebody's PK Leech and they need 15 minutes. Yeah, but yeah, whenever they begin, I will hop in there and we'll watch it together. It's a live narration, so obviously I don't know any more than you guys do what's going to happen or who's going to win. For the fans' sake, perhaps I should root for a Game 3. Everybody likes a Game 3. But this match is the difference between bare minimum $600, potentially even more, because like I said, you can win here and still win the tournament. It's the difference between $600+ and $0. So certainly even more so than in the early stages if they need to take their time, if they need a minute to figure it out, compose themselves, whatever it is. I think I can give them a little leeway with that. Now, granted, shouldn't exactly be figuring out teams at this moment. They obviously should have been prepped and ready prior to this and shouldn't be making choices on the fly at the moment. But yeah, I mean, that being said, if they need a minute for whatever reason, I think that's pretty fair. Wonder which player we're waiting on. I wonder who it is that needs a moment. Well, either way, it'll be what it'll be, and I'm ready. We all are. All kind of sitting tight and eager here as we wait for Game 2. I'd be surprised in Fakes' case if he were to switch it up too dramatically. I'm not saying he's going to bring the exact same team, though we all know that he could based on last round. But I'd be surprised if Fakes didn't just bring TSS again. It's just kind of what he does. I don't know if it's being lazy and stubborn and not wanting to learn something else, or if it's as simple as that's what he believes the best archetype is in ADV. Play what wins. Simple as that. The real one to watch, of course, is Mana. Could bring anything. Lots of other games have started here. If you guys are interested in some Gen 9 RU, whatever the fuck that entails, or Gen 2 OU, I know that one, between Vileman and Real FV13. And as wonderful as I have no doubt those matches are, kind of still waiting on this match. I may, on my phone in a moment, pop in on Discord and ask them, what are we doing, guys? Feels like a bit of a long delay here, and they know that I'm live narrating too, so give me a break here. Give them another like minute, and then I'll pop in and be like, what the fuck, guys? If you need to, go to the bathroom or splash yourself with water or something, that's one thing. But they certainly shouldn't be scrambling for teams at this stage. They've had all week. They've had all tour. Should know what they're doing here. Let's go. All right, let me just check on my phone what's going on here exactly. Not clear who we're waiting on, but let me just check on that, well, they're chatting in the Discord server, so they're not AFK, but I don't know if that's better or worse. If they're both here, play the match. Apparently it's fakes that we're waiting on, which does not overly surprise me, but he's been chatting for the last several minutes in my Discord server. Man, if I ever remember, maybe I'll put a timestamp for you guys to skip over this boring middle section and get to the game. It doesn't matter at this point because we're so late in the tournament, but this is the exact reason that I discussed very seriously before the tournament, adding some kind of rule stipulating that players could take a max of X minutes in between games. I don't know what that number would have been. 5 maybe seems a little harsh, even though I don't think it should ever take longer than that, but certainly 15, 20 or whatever is stupid, is ridiculous. I think it would have been at most 10 minutes. And even that, it really, if players are going to start, abusing that and waiting 9 minutes and 52 seconds or whatever in between games, that's going to get real annoying and real old. It just shouldn't be necessary the vast majority of the time. And like I said, doesn't feel like there's any kind of emergency or whatever. There should just be... Fakes is here. Fakes is chit-chatting. I don't know what the issue is. Okay, about damn time. Sorry about that, guys. There's nothing I can do, but just as annoying for me as it is for everybody else. And here we are again. I don't know how many rounds in a row Mana has brought Metacham, but he's brought it multiple times throughout this tournament. And I say the same thing every time that I'm the one narrating the game and he brings Metacham. I genuinely like that poke and genuinely believe in that poke. I think Mana is very much on the right track. This lead BP Metacham is something I've used several times throughout the years, still support, still advocate for. I think it is quite powerful. That trade, I think, is totally fine. Totally fine. I probably even like it better for Mana's end, even though Fakes did, in fact, get a spike down. I think I'm totally fine if I'm Mana with the way that went. You limited the spikes to 1 rather than 2, which can definitely matter. You traded crappy Magneton with anything but crappy Skarmory, and then you also get to take advantage of the Doug Tempo loss by following up with something that is immune to EQ. In this case, it was Salamence. All good things. Now, granted, Fakes does have Milotic, which is one of the best overall Salamence counters in the game, so there's that. But yeah, I think that opening for the kind of team that Mana is running, and I have several teams similar to this myself, I think that opening is totally fine. Rockslide there 23%, +1 Earthquake coming back. It's too early, but like, it kind of already feels, especially with no crit or flinch ever coming, kind of already feels like Fakes is in a bit of trouble here. Did he just bring the exact team that he brought twice last round against Rob? It's about as lazy prep-wise as it gets, and would not feel too bad at all if Mana ended up winning here and Fakes did not end up making money. If you can't be bothered to prep, if you can't be bothered to have teams prepared, if you make us wait 10 minutes only to just load up the thing that you brought last round twice, that's kind of lame. Fakes is just like so talented. He's such a raw talent player that he can get away with this bullshit and he can get a lot of wins anyway, as you can see by him being this deep in the tournament. But it's really frustrating. Not good gameplay, not courteous, all that good stuff. Alright, Doug Trio comes in on rest. He's going to be fishing for crits here. And if he does get a crit, he will devastate this lax, but I'm already seeing GGs from Fakes. That's crazy if so. He's also saying good luck in finals. Mana hasn't made the finals yet. Do we not understand the tournament structure? I don't know if he actually conceded, if he was just like, if he's doing the same thing he did against HClat. Hey, GG's, I'm going to come back and win anyway. It sure looks like he's in some fucking trouble. Can he not defeat? Yeah, wow, that's just a concession. Look, Mana will take it, and I'm sure he's happy to win at minimum $600. He's also joined an elite club of very few players who have made money more than once in CALLOUS tournaments. So from Mana's end, yeah, you shut up and you take it. But as the tournament organizer, I'm pretty lukewarm at best on this. This might be the worst fourth place match that we've had in all 7 CALLOUS Invitationals. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Fakes seemingly did not give a fuck and did not do any amount of prep. Just kind of showed up and loaded stuff and loaded the same crap that he always loads, and particularly lazy in game 2. Makes us wait 10 minutes and then just loads up the team that he brought last round. Okay, I mean, hey, he beat people to get here. He earned the right to play this match. If he wants to piss away the money by putting in this amount of effort, which doesn't feel like a whole lot, his prerogative. And like I said, Mana will take it. So we now know our top 3. We just have to figure out the order. It's going to be some combination of C, Bad Dummy, and Mana. C and Bad Dummy are going to play for Winners Bracket Finals a little bit later today. That'll determine who is waiting in the Grand Finals upper bracket, and then the loser is going to play against Mana in the 3rd place match, which is next round. But for now, need to resolve that match, like I said, between C and Bad Dummy, and go from there. But congratulations to Mana. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, I guess. See you in the next match.